who went to EXPCon? I want to see some hands in the air. What'd you guys think? Pretty good?
Good.
Do you think people should have gone?
Everybody should have gone.
Oh my gosh, we had people come from South Africa, from India, from Italy, from Portugal, all over the United States. So next year, it'll be in November. It was pretty awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you go next year. You missed it this year. But by the way, the shareholders is in June. It's going to be in June. Our shareholders out from Florida. You can enjoy the great tropical weather of Florida, be in Orlando. Set a goal. I'm going to go to shareholders. By the way, everybody in this room is a shareholder. They never said that to me at Remax. Everybody in the room is a shareholder of Remax International or at Keller Williams. Everybody here is a shareholder. We were not. The shareholders from Dave Liniger's as a corporate officer, you have a shareholder meeting every year and you do it with the people who own the stock. I never got invited because none of us were shareholders. So this is pretty awesome, guy. And I've watched it go from 13 cents a share to 50 to $1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 to 64 to went all the way up to 90, 95, 100. It split. Now we're at 45. And so that's where we're at. And we're going to watch it keep going. So shareholders, it's very Wall Street, very formal with lots of training. It's a 3-day event in June in Orlando. Every single one of you should be there. I'm talking quick because I'm about to introduce our first speaker, who is Margot. Margot is, keep an eye on it. She's cheering. Is there any way to make her big? Like we're only looking at Margot, like speaker view. And then we'll unmute. There she is. Everyone say hi, Margot. Wave at her. So Margot is the, let me see if I can see the Senior Vice President of Clearwater. I might have messed it up, of Clearwater, she's in charge of the whole affiliate relationship with EXP. And so she's going to explain to you, this is a great recruiting tool. 1/3 of agents have no health care. Another third are totally underinsured, and you know who you are. And you're like, if something really went bad, they're like, we're going to put a Band-Aid on it and take 2 Tylenol. We want you to have the best healthcare in the world. The healthcare, my wife and I literally save thousands of dollars a month, not a year. I was not underinsured. I was not uninsured. I had great insurance, but I was paying too much. That's the third category. How many would love to save even $300-400 a month? It'll make your car payment. Margot, the floor is yours. You have 14 minutes because I just used a minute. Everyone say, all right, Margot, take it away.
Hi from Austin, Texas. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, or can I do that? That would be great if I can. If not, I will just tell you all the good news.
Yeah, we're gonna make you a co-host.
There you go, Margot.
Share your screen. You're up.
Wonderful. So I got the great opportunity to be at EXPCon myself. It was amazing. And one of the things that was a lot of fun for us was Clearwater is the partner with EXP's agent healthcare plan. We've been at this for 2 years now, and we had a big announcement I'm going to share with you in just a minute. But one of the things that we've learned in the last year is this is an incredible recruiting attraction tool. We actually didn't know that when we first launched this. What's happened is we've discovered that pain point that Brent just mentioned, that 1/3 are underinsured, 1/3 are not insured at all, and 1/3 are paying way too much. This has become the second biggest concern that we see agents have when they're looking to make a switch. So we've created a tool set and some communications for you guys to make it easy. So what's interesting is not only is all of that great, but there's some news that was just announced last week. And we've also got a super strong competitive advantage. No one else in the industry, no other nationwide brokerage has anything like this. Average savings a year, look at this, $8,000 a year. No joke, that's the real number compared to an on the exchange or regular plan that you buy yourself. This is the broadest network available out there. We offer the best customer service. We're not perfect, constantly striving to improve, and it's about to get even better. So let me tell you a little bit about that.
Hey, Mark, hold on real quick. I just want to jump in. That $8,000 a year, you ever get agents like, well, I don't want to pay $85 a month to be the XP? right? Is 8,000 a year more than 85 a month? That's 1,200 a year. We'll think, well, I'm only going to save 4,000 a year. Look at what they're saving. You guys all with me? You get how you can use this as a way to, because some people do have a problem paying 85 a month. Get them with Margot before they come to EXP. They'll get a quote and they see, oh my gosh, we're saving 5,000 a year. Is that it's 4 times greater than the 85 a month. You guys with me?
Yeah.
So you got to be smart, scrappy. Okay, go ahead, Margot.
Smart, scrappy, right? Because this impacts their compensation, and that gives you some leverage to talk about moving forward. So what do we know about healthcare? It just keeps getting more expensive. The access to doctors, the networks just keep shrinking. The out-of-pocket risks just keep going up. The reason for that is because as networks shrink, the likelihood that you'll end up at the right ER that's in network is lower. So that's how people end up in bankruptcy or financial distress. So we want to avoid that. Most people know there's a big risk with going to the wrong hospital or having something big and expensive happen. So we can help reduce the stress, the worry. And, you know, this last bullet, I just want to share with you, I keep hearing about people who go, yeah, I've got a part-time job. I just keep it for the benefits, or my spouse does. And we want to go all in on real estate. And that's the one thing keeping us from doing it. Well, this is a tool that allows you to give them options to make that change even faster. So what do I mean about that EXP has a competitive advantage? Look at this. Virtually all the other brokerages know that this is a big problem and they are trying to solve it. Inman did an article in February of last year. They interviewed me and Jason Guessing and several other people at the large brokerages. And they all said, yeah, we know it's important. We don't know how to do it. But EXP does, because they partnered with us. We cracked the code and you've got a unique competitive advantage. So I just wanted to show you this chart because it shows you that nobody else has anything meaningful at all. They have nothing. So that's a really strong advantage to have. On top of that, what's the big news? What's the big announcement? Now, as of January 1st, the network, which was already nationwide, becomes completely open, unlimited. That means you can go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere in the country that you want to go. This is unheard of.
Yes. Hey, I'm gonna interrupt you, Margot.
Interrupt me.
Margot, hold on. I'm gonna interrupt. I know it's really rude, but it's too important. How many times have you guys been somewhere? Sorry, we don't take that here. We don't. Oh, you're a PPO. We're an HMO. Who even knows what that stuff is anyway? How would you like to go to any doctor, any place? I mean, does anyone have goosebumps? I mean, we're gonna change your kid's life. Our kids went to urgent care for 30 years. Like, you just better not be that sick, right? Go ahead.
No, it's true. I don't know of another plan anywhere in the country that offers this. It's pretty amazing. Not only that, but if you're on vacation in Mexico, or let's say you're in Cabo next year and something happens, a little mishap, and you need a little trip to the urgent care or the ER, no problem, because your plan is going to take care of you any country in the world. So that's pretty phenomenal. There are lots of bells and whistles. I'm not going to get into all of that. What I do want you to do is be aware that this is something you can do to attract agents. I'm going to give you a sentence. It's really a question. You might want to write it down. Okay, ready? If there is a way you could save thousands of dollars on healthcare and get better care, would you want to learn more? So simple. It's a way to open the door to the conversation. It's like a different door into the conversation. And you find out, are the people you're talking to part of the 2/3 of people who really need to improve their healthcare or not? And if they bite on that, I've seen influencers use this on their social media pages. Just post that question and get people. I've seen them attract people and get agents. I've met the agents that they've attracted. Very powerful, super easy. So all you have to do is write that down and try it out in conversations when you're meeting in person. Try it out when you're texting people, talking to people. Give it a whirl on social media. Let me know how it goes. It's really, really a cool, unique way to open that conversation. Once you've got them in the conversation, it's a no-brainer, right? You guys do your magic, and there's so many more amazing benefits to joining EXP that this is just icing on the cake. So I want to give you that. I also want to let you know there's an agent attraction toolkit available to you, and here's where you find it. I will send these links to you later, but it's bit.ly/healthcare toolkit. And in that, what I want you to do is go there, click that link, and that will give you access to the slides, the videos, the social media posts, turnkey collateral and content you can use right now to start this conversation and start attracting agents. Thing I want you to do, if you are looking to attract agents and bring them into the conversation now, maybe you've got some who bite and who you know are going to be interested, send them to expagenthealthcare.com. I'll type it in the chat, expagenthealthcare.com. That's a dedicated site only for EXP agents and those considering it. And they can get information. They can watch videos with EXP agents telling their stories. They can find out when the next webinar is. They can book a call, and they can even get a quote before they come over. There's a video of a guy named Chris Stone who made the decision to join EXP while he was on the call with one of our consultants, because that was just the icing on the cake. That was absolutely the straw that broke that camel's back and made that decision for him. So we see it all the time. And I want to make sure you know to click this link, bit.ly/healthcare toolkit, to get access to the content. Go to expagenthealthcare.com you can send your prospects there. You can visit there to get information, watch videos, book a call, and you can find me on Workplace. If you have other ideas, questions, I'm available to you. As Brent knows, I'm on speed dial on his phone, so I'll answer. Happy to help you guys in any way I can.
Thank you, Margot. Everyone give her a hand. Let's see, Margot, what do you call it when people want to get a quote? It's not a price check. You had a cool name for it. What was it?
Did I? Let's see, get a quote.
I'm trying to remember. You said something. It sounded good.
Did it sound good?
Yeah, you said call for a consultation or a
consultation. Book a call for a consultation. Let me put that in the chat real quick for you. And that is absolutely, and anybody can get one.
Yep. So they don't have to be at EXP. So you take your prospects. My wife and I save $24,000 a year on healthcare. I mean, there's other ways to approach this instead of rev share and stock. There's the business planning clinic this afternoon from 1 to 3. It's 1 to 4. There's so many ways to add value. We're just looking to love the agents. Don't throw up EXP. Don't EXP all over them. Nobody likes it when you EXP all over them. But that was bad. I won't try that one again. All right, Margot, thank you. Have a great day. Bye, Margot. See you.
Thanks.
All right. Our next speaker is someone I've known for 35 years. She's the president of a staging company in the United States, and she's going to talk to you about why, if you have a listing, you absolutely need to stage your home. And Jenny, are you there? Is Jenny there?
I'm here.
She is. She's there. Jenny Norris, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Good.
35 years.
You got about 12 minutes, so watch the clock, okay? Go for it.
So share my screen.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, we're going to make you a host. We'll make you a co-host real quick. So
okay.
Okay, you are ready to go.
Okay. All right. So 35 years. I can't believe that. We got started when we were 10. I am Jenny Norris. I used to live in Roseville. Currently live outside of Denver. And I am the president and CEO of StagedHomes.com, which is a training company in real estate, been around since 1999. And I had approached Brent about talking to your group because some of the things that we deal with our education, we know that real estate is extremely competitive. And I should also preface this by saying that my son and my husband are both EXP agents.
Woo!
So yes, woo! And they're having their best year ever. And on top of being great with referrals and all that type of thing, I have my own personal staging business here. I used to stage for you, Brent, remember? And but way back in the day, so they use me as sort of their secret weapon. And it's all about education. So I love what the prior speaker was sharing. First of all, the healthcare, very timely, because we're right in the middle of having to switch. But it's also being able to offer other things of value to people who you were looking at wanting to bring into the EXP family. So as you know, it's extremely competitive. There's not enough listings to go around for everybody who wants to list a house. Not enough housing for all the buyers out there, and that's a whole nother issue. So how is EXP helping their agents position themselves to win? So you have a lot of different things, healthcare, the profit share, all those different programs, and it is all about profit. So when you talk about home staging, most people are familiar with it. I was actually the very, very first stager in the entire Sacramento region. Back in 2002, I launched a company, and we moved in 2009 when the market collapsed, and we came out here. But back then, staging wasn't well known, and happily 20 years later, people are aware of it. So, but it's not enough just to say, oh, you should stage your house, or whether the realtors believe in it or not. It's really a strategic marketing tool to get listings over the competition. And when those houses are then put on the market, they outshine their competition, or they compete on equal footing. And you have companies like Compass, who has their concierge program, allocating 30 to 40 grand per property, including the staging, and they're paying for that. So I always say, like, follow the money. I don't know how they're able to do that and retain. In fact, I know they lost a lot of money too. But that said, I'm not suggesting that EXP fund all of that, but the agents need to understand that staging is a way for the sellers to make the maximum amount in the sale of their house. And as the market shifts, which it'll eventually do, it'll become even more important. It's a way for the agents to get listings. And so the agent's going to make more commission when the house sells faster. Your agents will have an edge over their competition, and your company then is going to profit more. So it's like a win-win. You know, your sellers want as much money as possible out of the sale, not just some money. And I have so many agents here that say to me, I've never had to stage a house before. And in my head, my script in my head is, you've always had to stage your listings. You just didn't, because you didn't think you needed to, because maybe the market was really hot, but how much money was left on the table? And so your agents also want to get referrals. And when you have happy clients, you know, imagine getting them another $5, $10, $50,000 more, or even more than that for a property that's staged. And so I love that she had those if questions, because often when I do presentations, I ask these questions. If there were a way for you to get more listings and make more money, would you want to know about it? And if there were a way for your sellers to make the most of the sale of their home, would you want to tell them about it? And so these questions are sort of teasers, if you will, because staging is the answer to both of those questions, because it's all about expectations. This just came out on, I don't know how many of you have read the NAR profile of home staging. They come out with it every odd year. So 2021, they issued it again. So their statistic says 63% of all buyers expect the houses that they're shown to look like the ones they see on TV that are staged. And they have really shifted. The last survey wasn't as much about the impact on television on buyers, but that's become significant. So your buyers, when they're going out there, you know, they want to have a positive experience, a great emotional experience when they walk in the house. When it's not staged, if it's empty, if it's cluttered, if there's nothing that was done to prepare it, it's not an emotionally exciting purchase for that buyer or an experience for them. And statistically, 50% of buyers are willing to pay more for a house that's staged. This is data that's collected. And I'm sharing this with you because the goal is to educate the agents that are in EXP and provide them an edge over their competition. So as a training company, Staged Homes, we've taught, you know, tens of thousands of real estate agents and stagers through the years. And we usually teach live, but COVID grounded us. So we had a training team of 12. We would teach 2 to 3 times a month, traveling all around. I've taught all throughout the US, Canada, over in Europe. Well, COVID changed all of that. So my mind shift was to figure out a different way to bring the classes to the agents versus them having to come to us, because there's still a lot of markets that are not open to us to teach live. We have been doing virtual, but Chris Widener, who some of you know him, he was our keynote speaker at our recent conference. And I was speaking with him and he said, well, you know, come up with an exclusive opportunity for EXP agents. And so that's what I am proposing. So what I would love to do is have a class that is strictly for EXP agents. And normally our classes are open to anybody, no matter what brokerage they're with. Your agents would earn the accredited staging partner designation and accreditation, which is a market differentiator, because credentials, you know, education, niches, and so forth are important. Increase their income and profit, and then elevate the brand, the EXP brand and standard, because you have to stand out against your competition as well, or compete equally. And the course, I have a booklet that I've shared with Brent. Please feel free to share that with all of your team members here. But it goes over timing and tact, what to say, when to say it, what not to say, how to preserve the relationship, role playing, the steps and process for preparing a house for sale, scripting for success, and there's lots of resources. So class is not to teach agents to be home stagers, because there's plenty of home stagers that are out there, and we run businesses and we want to support the real estate agents that are out there. It's more about learning what staging is, what it's not, when to bring it up. If you don't bring it up in the listing, initial listing presentation, agents will often start making comments on things that have to change in the house, paint this wall, do these different things. And it's too soon to engage because they don't have the listing yet. They're giving away their value. And there's scripting in a nice way to put sellers off that are picking someone's brain. And so we go through a lot of this as far as the process. So again, we're not teaching realtors to be stagers. They will learn basics, some of the steps for like what we call a consultation, but we're not trying to turn their career path into being stagers. And I want to make that really clear because Brent had asked me about that. And so the class is, there's a 1 day and a half day. So the 1 day course, they would get the complete designation, the added half day. And the 1 day course is really more about their business. It's called the staging and selling cycle. And there's 4 times that an agent can insert staging into their business marketing process in order to get more business. And I came up with this back in 2005 when my husband John became an agent in Roseville, competing against, I know there was like 8 or 10 agents. We lived in Diamond Creek area, new build at that time. And he was competing against some very, very established agents. And so from the beginning, his message was, I'm going to do more to help you get more. And then as the market shifted, his message was, I'm going to do more to help you keep more. And the more was me, his wife, that was the stager. And so all of his listings were staged. And within 2 years, he became the #1 listing agent in Diamond Creek. All those other agents dropped off. And he's excellent at negotiating. He's excellent at relationship building. The one thing that none of these other agents were doing was the staging. And so I know it works to help craft a business that's different than everybody else. And the market that we've been in, and I'm sure Denver and Sacramento, all these cities where it's been a frenzy, the idea that we don't have to do anything to get a house prepared for sale, just throw it on the market, is a disservice to the seller. And so to elevate the EXP brand, having the agents understand that, take that extra time and that extra step to make sure that they're going to net the very, very most in the sale. And that's what staging can do for them. So we have the 1 day course goes over the staging and selling cycle, the 4 steps. And then the half day is color, placement, exterior, landscaping and so forth. There's more visuals and it's a half day add-on. And we split out the course that way because there are other 1 day classes and not every realtor wants to give up 2 or 3 days to sit in a class. So that's why we have the 1 day and then the half day. So what we're proposing for EXP is normal pricing is $179 for the 1 day to get the designation. There's a ton of resources they get through the Staging University, added niche education and so forth. And we would give a promotional incentive of $29 off that. That could either be kept by the broker, it could be shared with the agents. There's different ways we can craft that. And then the half day is normally 70, so we would drop it down to 60 for the agents. You know, and again, that profit pool could be shared. We would take all the registrations. The agents wouldn't have to, you wouldn't have to do anything as team leaders. So we would handle all of that. We have full staff doing that. And then even custom marketing pieces, these follow the staging and selling cycles. This is your marketing to get a listing, what you say during the listing presentation, when the house is marketed, how you position it, and then after the sale, telling the story. And that's a cycle, and it cycles all the way back to then getting a listing appointment and what you're going to say for your marketing. So there's custom pieces that we put together that would be shared with EXP agents and, additional information. So I know I'm talking fast because I didn't have a lot of time. So I kind of want to open it up to questions from you to see if you have what your thoughts are on the education piece for your agents and getting them an additional credentials that will help them get more listings.
Sure. Who wants to go first? Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Yes.
Where do we sign up for the course? It sounds like it's awesome.
Oh, great. Yay. So we have 2 ways we could present the course. One, we could do a live. We would come to, my mom still lives in Roseville and I haven't seen her. So we could come and do a live class, or we do virtuals. We've been doing the online virtuals. So we would be able to, are all of your agents in the California area?
All over. We're in all 50 states.
Okay, so it probably would make more sense maybe to do it like a virtual live. So it's not like a Zoom call. It is sort of similar, but we do newrow.com. So it's a virtual classroom. So the trainer can see all the students can see each other and the trainer plus the course material. However, we're also open to traveling and coming at live in person. So we would set up these exclusive classes and then send the registration portal and information to you. So you'd be able to register.
Good, good. Anybody else have a question for Jenny? Anybody? Clark?
Yes, have you pursued any virtual staging?
It's interesting. Yeah. So virtual staging, I know, and that's kind of been sort of the rage, well, for some. I have actually had to restage houses that have been virtually staged that didn't sell. So the virtual staging is sort of a cheap alternative to staging for real. And challenge with virtual staging is that it misrepresents what the buyers are going to experience when they walk in the doors. They feel duped. And those of you that have shown properties, you know, when they walk in a house, they're looking for something. And if they don't see furniture and things like that, they're going to notice there's a scratch on the wall, there's a, you know, ding on the floor, whatever. Start looking for the flaws. And then there's nothing to connect emotionally. So yes.
I have the perfect analogy for this.
Good.
I have not ever used a dating site because I've been married 30 years, but it's like you see the glamour shot, you show up and you're like, who are you? You know? It's right. And so I completely agree. I may get them there, but when they get there, like, this is not at all what was represented. I think it's actually, I think it's a negative. Go to every builder in America, they will pay more. I literally paid probably $300,000 more for the home I now just moved into because it was pretty. And I bought the staging furniture. I bought the artwork. I bought everything because I just liked it and it looked great. And I way overpaid and I did it with joy. And so staged homes will flat out, I've done this for 25 years. You got to learn the scripts, the little scripts, that alone is worth it. You got to stand up to your sellers, not listing presentation, because they'll go with somebody else. Once you get that listing signed, you could be a little bossy and you're going to go, if you were my brother, and you're not, no, you're not, but I would make you do this. I would make you do. Do you talk to people like this? If you were my sister, I wouldn't ask you, you would have to, it's how important it is. And you got to learn there's a line there, right? There's a line from being pushy and being passionate. And you got to be, they're looking for leadership. If they're saying, no, we're not going to do this, you don't know how to do this. Staged homes sell for more. They sell faster. Like, well, I'm going to get 25,000. You would have got 50. You could have got 100. You must stage the home. You got to get a little cray. All right. Jenny, anything else? We got to roll this up and wrap it. Anything else?
So and the main thing with, so the virtual staging, it's just also kind of deceptive. So then NAR actually had a paper they wrote on that. So you can put that up on their site. The main thing is you're trying to add value, or you want to add value to your services, and your agents need a competitive edge. And so if they're competing against Compass agents who have that big, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to throw at their sellers at no charge to the sellers. And again, I don't know how they're able to afford that, but that's what's happening. And they're able then to use that money to enhance the property in different ways, including the staging. You don't want your agents to lose a listing because they're not offering the same thing. And it's not enough just to say, put your pictures away, move your trash can. Staging is much more involved in that. And I will say that, you know, we are a partner, a stager is a partner in your success. Anybody you work with, if you guys are here, we serve you here. We're not here and we're not here. So egos underneath, we called in check. So my entire existence as a stager is to make my clients look good and to make sure that the sellers get a great, you know, a great successful sale. So I mean, just, you know, you could talk to John and Stephen Norris. They're both, you know, here in Denver. You could, you know, John's used staging as an edge his whole career. And they beat out people all the time because they will include up to a certain dollar amount of staging. A consultation in your market's around $250 on average. And that's when a stager goes out and tells the seller what they need to do room by room. Takes you guys out of the hot seat so that you're not the one having, you know, you don't risk that relationship, and the stager then can follow up. Yeah. And then the other piece of it, the hands-on staging. So those sometimes include up to $1,000, but you can quantify that. And there's actually a paper I wrote, I'll send it to Brent. It's the 7 ways you guys can protect your commission when it comes to staging, because you shouldn't be paying for it and the seller has no skin in the game. So I'll send that to you as well.
Awesome. We got to wrap it up. Jen, thank you so much. That
Thank
was
you
totally
so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Brent.
All right. Thank you. So next thing, you can stay on if you want. Here's another way to stage. How many of you would like $100,000 to, sometimes homes need a roof, they need paint, they need carpet. It's beyond staging. We all agree?
Yeah.
So do you have $100,000 to offer your clients to get the listing? If you list with me, I'm going to make sure you have $100,000 to put this home in El Dorado's in tip top shape so we can get you $250,000. And would that help in a listing competition? Do you know there's a company out there that does that right now? They'll give you $250,000, they give you $500,000 to flip the home. It's an unbelievable company. They're out of Newport Beach. All my Newport Beach agents, they'll spend $1 million flipping a home. $1 million. 30 grand, 50 grand is chump change. Okay, that's just the driveway. So how many of you would like access to this company? And you get behind them and you say, I'm going to bring you to them. It's the company's name is Revive. Write that down and we'll get it. We'll put it on my website. But their name is Revive. And Susie Shaw, she's in Newport Beach. She sells $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million homes all the time. There's an island where John Wayne lived, on that little island off of Newport Beach, where all the movie stars lived. They've sold every home on the island, like at least once. They've been doing this forever. Revive is the name of the company. We'll Google it, get their information on Brent Gove team page website. But it's a wonderful asset because Compass says, hey, we'll give you 100 or 200 grand to flip that home in the Bay Area. And so that's a concierge service by Compass. Like, well, Compass will give me 180 to fix up my house. What will you do? How many are you going to whip out 180? Well, now you can. Is this helpful? Yeah. So look, everybody wants to make 500,000 a year, 700,000 a year, $1 million a year. But have you committed yourself to learning the scripts and staging? Have you committed yourself to learn about everything that's available? Have you interviewed stagers till you found one that will let you bill escrow? My stager would go, I go, if you list with me, I'm going to get your home staged. And I had a special where she would prepare the home for $1,500. And it would be, I go, we're not going to spend thousands. We're going to, now, if it was a very high-end home, you don't do $1,500, but most homes for $1,500, she can make them look amazing. And she would bill escrow. So it would close in a month or two and she'd get paid at close of escrow. You put nothing out of pocket. And I just tell them, if you list with me, we're going to get a stage for you. And at close of escrow, you're going to have a $1,500 staging fee. This normally costs thousands of dollars. And I'm going to get your home staged. And here's what's going to happen. Yes, there's a feeding frenzy around homes, but you will get it's probably guarantee a cash buyer, and you're going to get at least, I'm going to flat out tell you, I think, and I can't promise you this, and I'm not going to promise you this, you're going to get 10 to 20,000 more for the house at a minimum. I've seen homes get 50,000 more because it's fake. You can say my partner himself candidly admits he paid 300,000 more for the house because he loved it. He loved the setting. The staging made him feel good. When you go to a builder home, look at model 1, look at model 2, look at model 3, and they're all empty. When you go on a date, do you put makeup on, ladies? Do you do your hair? Do you put on your best dress? Why? Because you're staging. You're staging. Guys, we just show up. I'm paying for dinner, but so here's the deal. Right, Dan? And so you got to stage. Anyways, that was really good. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, we have a final speaker today. Everybody open this up. I'm going to introduce them in a minute. Grab one of these envelopes. Who has an extra envelope? Give me two. Okay, whole bunch. Pass them out. Who wants an envelope? You gotta. If you don't have an envelope, take one. There you go. Take some. Pass them back. Hand out envelopes. I need one up here to the right. One envelope right here. One envelope. One up here. Oh, whoa, Chinese thing. All right. Okay, don't throw them. Don't throw them. All right. Those things have sharp edges. All right. It's cool. It's cool. He's the Krav Maga trained instructor. Now, open it up. So this is a handwritten letter that's all computer generated. It's a great way to stay in touch with a farm marketing wise. And they can get these letters. If you look at the picture on the front, open up the front, that was a picture down in Southern California of one of the piers. And then they add like watercolor to it, and they take a picture and turn it into something that you could buy in an art shop. And all this is done for free. And then it's something they recognize in San Francisco. You could do their home. And there's so many things you could do here, like if it's Los Lagos or Serrano or Blackhawk, if it's, some notable, and then they can watercolor and they turn it into an amazing thing. And then you'll send out 100 of them to your 100 best clients or 500. It's a classy thing you could do with your database, very inexpensive. So in about 10 minutes, the guy who created this company is going to come on and tell you what he could do. Blew my mind. The ex-president of Keller Williams, a guy named Chris Heller, called me and goes, you got to check this guy out. He's amazing. He's not related to him. I met Jesse at EXPCon last week. Very impressed. I just want you to have something you could take home, you could see, and you could up your game. Who thinks upping your game would be a good idea? Yeah. You don't You don't just fall into selling, 60, 70 homes a year at $1 million. It takes intentionality. It takes being purposeful. It takes being committed to sharpening the axe, the sword. It takes a very definitive game plan, clarity. And that's why I'm looking at this room. It's packed today. And you're going to get clarity from Bill Pipes today. He's Tom Ferry's #1 coach trainer. He's one of my favorite trainers in the country. And I talked to him already this morning. He is ready to just tear it up. I told him this is Super Bowl Sunday for you. If you do well today, I'm going to unleash more of you to EXP across America. But I need you to hit a grand slam home run. I need you to throw the winning touchdown at the Super Bowl. This is your moment, Bill. And I said, and I need you to show up like you've never, no pressure, right? But I need you to show up in a way you never. So here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen to you. If you show up with that pissy attitude, you probably won't like it. If you show up with the motivate me, arms crossed, legs crossed, eyes, we'll see if this guy's good. You probably won't like it. But if you show up on the edge of your seat and you're there to take notes, learn, grow, and you're going to get workbooks. Anyone have one of the workbooks in the room? I should have brought one, but we printed 400 of them. It's okay. It's all right. But it's Tom Ferry's workbook, and it's got all the budgets, the business budget. It has your life. How you doing with your family? It's not just all get 80 listings. It's how are you doing with your family? That's how do you think being super successful and losing your family is a great idea. Okay. So there's it's all encompassing. It's having initiatives. It's when are you going to hire your first assistant? When is that going to happen? It's a goal. You throw it out there. I'm going to do this by January 31st, 2022. I can tell you, it was scary for me to hire my first assistant. My income literally, I think, tripled monthly, and I was making a lot of money. And it tripled, like within 3 months, my income tripled because I wasn't calling the stager. I wasn't calling the healthcare company. I wasn't calling roof doctors. I wasn't calling the pest company. Dan's in the back from North American. Dan, how busy are you guys? How's business out there? You guys rocking?
I'm at Finley now.
Oh yeah, sorry, man. Sorry, dude.
It's busy. It's
I can't keep track of
it's
it.
still
It was like that in college. You always had a new girl, whatever.
a little convoluted. It's still busy. We're within a week.
Right on.
We're doing
Real quick, well, I got you here because you're never here. You haven't seen you in a long time. I guess I'm in Puerto Rico, so I'll take that back.
I gotta come see you.
All right, yeah, come to Puerto Rico. What's the #1 mistake agents make when around in your world with roof and pests and all that?
Right now, the biggest mistake is they're chasing things.
What do you mean by that?
They're not planned accordingly. They don't have a.
They're behind the bell. I need this
Yeah.
done yesterday. It's at the end of the
exactly.
escrow. Okay.
We close escrow in 3 days. We need a section 1 clearance. So by the way, it's a $30,000 test bid.
So be proactive, plan ahead, think it through, which is what this afternoon's about. Thank you. That's good. That's enough stage time for him. That's good. Now, so I love Dan. With Finley now, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. So and you have multiple weapons. Sometimes they're busy. We call different people. So but here's the deal. You need to plan ahead. And so that's what this afternoon's about. Hope is not a strategy. Man, I need you to pay attention today. You should all get there at 12:30 if you want a seat. There will be no seats at 1 o'clock. It's going to be jam-packed. And Bill Pipes, if you will let him, will be the beginning of something beautiful in your life. But you got to have clarity. Clarity is power. And you got to have a plan. Like, okay, how will I get sellers to call me? He's going to give you ideas. Like, oh, that's a great idea. Okay, I'm going to get that going by next Friday. It will happen. And you don't get to make excuses. Blaming me, blaming Glenn Sanford, blaming the economy, blaming Gavin Newsom. He's a fun guy. People are like, stop it. Stop blaming people. Don't blame the IRS. Well, if I didn't have this tax problem, stop it. That kind of talk is victim mentality. You could be the victor or the victim. It may be true. Someone stole your money, borrowed your car and wrecked it. Okay, fine. Well, if they hadn't have borrowed my car and broke it, now I don't have a car. Stop. Blaming other people, even if it's true, is a disempowering deal. You take ownership of everything. The United States government is not going to change your life. The Republicans and the Democrats, I believe you should vote, and it makes a difference for sure. But whether a Republican was in office or a Democrat was in office, you've had the same financial situation. So let me ask you a question. How many of you have read the book by Og Mandino, the greatest salesman that ever lived, or the greatest salesman in the world? Come look at the room. 10. There's 30 of you that have not read that book. So I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I feel empathetic towards the 30 of you who have not read that book. If you have not read that book, you are operating at a major, major disadvantage. In my opinion, it's one of the greatest books ever written on sales, and you haven't read it, and you're in sales. And not only in sales, you're not selling office equipment where your commission's $1,500 or $2,500. You're not selling iPhones at AT&T where you get a $200-300 a phone and hope you sell 6 or 7 a day. You're selling homes where the commission can easily be 20, 25, 30,000 a pop. And if you want to get good, you could be selling 5, 10, 15 a month. And if you let's just do a paltry 5 at 20,000. That's 100,000 a month. It's 1.2 million a year. Do you know you could do that? The problem is you don't believe you could do it because you haven't put in the work. I flew to Orlando and went to Star Power at Howard Brinton. He's retired. He actually passed away, but I've been there and I met people that helped me. I flew to Toronto and met Craig Proctor. I went down to Carlsbad and met Brian Buffini, went to his stuff. I went to Remax's convention. I went to Mega Camp and Family Room. I went to Haas Pratt's Become a Listing Boss. I went to NAEA with Jay Kinder. I was on a quest for knowledge, and then I applied, take immediate action. So here's the deal. Who's going to order that book today from Amazon or wherever you get your books? Just did. That's what I want to hear. Take immediate action. So, back up. I spoke yesterday. Augmentino, the greatest salesman that ever lived. We'll put it on the team site. But here's this whole thing. Listen to me. I need everyone's attention. You cannot listen and then don't act. Happiness is progress. It's in progress. You'll never. It's not. Well, when I weigh 2 or 3, I'll be happy. It's in the journey. It's like you're drinking water, you're exercising, you're eating right, you're going to be happy. When you think about the fact I should be exercising, but I'm not, I should be eating right, but give me another slice of pizza, you will not be happy. When you're doing the prospecting daily, even if you just contact 10 people today, and just bring up real estate, and you do 10 people tomorrow and 10 people the next day. When Barry Mathis did this, 2 months later, he had 22 homes asked for from a dead stop. And why? Because in 45 days, he talked to how many people at 10 a day? 450 people. And 22 of the 450 either bought, sold, or led him to somebody who bought and sold. But he took immediate action from his coach. Do you have a coach? I can't afford a coach. Find a way. Sell your couch, sell your mountain bike, get rid of your timeshare. Find a way to make it happen. You got to have the passion and the fire. This stuff, hope is not a strategy. Hope will not change. You will repeat 2021 and 2022. And 2021 may have been good, it may have been fine. But who wants good and fine when you can have great? So yesterday I spoke in Folsom, and this gal who saw me speak, she says, I've heard you many times, but you said to us that you felt sorry for anyone in the room that had read the Augmentino book, The Greatest Salesman That Ever in the World. And she was, I'd never read the book. So I immediately downloaded it on Audible. I listened to the entire book the rest of the day yesterday. She was, by the afternoon, I'm driving down Auburn Folsom, I'm bawling. She's like, what is wrong with me? She's like, and the book will move you because it reveals to you the mistakes you've been making in the area of sales. It does it through story form. It's a short book. It's not a big book. It's a book you can read in a night or two. I've read it again and again and again. It's part of the fiber of who I am. It talks about persistence. It talks about overcoming rejection. It talks about your internal battle. It's all inside. Give me the script. I can give you the script, but if you still think you're an ugly person, if you still think you're not worthy, if you still think that you're not worthy of love, and that like you got to completely lose the narcissistic thoughts of I'm not this, I'm not that, and just go out and grab people and love them. I know it felt good. We just met. No, but you gotta be able to look at people and connect with them in their soul. To actually get to know people and find out about their life and their kids and their family. It's not just business. And when your clients and when the agents you're trying to attract and that listing you're trying to get and that buyer you're trying to put in, when they know that you really care, when you're able to convey that, I'm not sure, have you read the books? Have you gone to the podcast? I couldn't either till I could. Are you with me?
Yep.
Man, I'm so excited for you guys. The future's so bright. I took some of my man's time, 3 minutes. Where's Jesse? Let's get Jesse on there. There he is. Let's bring him up, full speaker. Hey, Jesse.
Hey guys.
He's already host.
Hey, good. We're gonna make you a co-host.
He
Hold on a
is.
sec.
He's ready to go.
Do I get to face the audience? Do I get to face the audience? Or do I get to face the audience or no?
Yeah, we'll turn it around.
There we go. Hey everyone. How's it going? Good morning. It's morning for you, right? I'm in Miami, so I'm the type of guy that drinks his coffee all day long. But so I'm going to tell you this morning about a diabolical shortcut for driving more listings. Can everyone hear me, by the way? Raise your hand if you can hear me. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so these notes not only will help you drive listings in super tight markets, and I assume the markets where you guys are farming are really tight, but like Brent said, it's really important to show you care. And it's hard to show you care at scale. And what these notes do is they form a meaningful bond immediately with every homeowner for every household in your entire farm. So let me tell you about it. It's really cool. It's a total all-in-one platform, and it includes the note, like Brent said, the graphics on the front, but we also build in digital marketing follow-up. And so the recipient receives the note, and then what we do is we mine all the email addresses for all the primary and secondary owners, both their personal email addresses and then their work email addresses. And then we find all the LinkedIn profile URLs of everyone in your farm. And then, so they get the note, which I'll explain in a sec. And then a few days later, they get an email that says, "Did you receive my handwritten note?" in the subject line. And then they get a LinkedIn connection request. So it's really cool because, you know, Brian Buffini and Tom Ferry and all these, I mean, Ninja Selling and all these people are like, do LinkedIn, do handwritten notes. But for any of you, like how many of you try to write handwritten notes? It's like, raise your hand if you don't mind, right? How many of you have done it at scale consistently for long periods of time? Anyone? Yeah. Okay, so one person. So we send about 600 notes a month on your behalf. And for anyone, the way we started this, so I started this 2.5 years ago. I also started a company called sportsmemorabilia.com. We became the biggest autograph store on the internet. Maybe some of you have used it. And one of the ways we grew it is we sent handwritten notes to our customers. But my warehouse workers and assistants and contractors were writing the notes, and consistently, not only was the handwriting embarrassing oftentimes, because after the 5th note, you just don't really care much anymore, but you would rather give yourself a root canal with no anesthesia than you would like write handwritten notes at scale. It's a really tedious process. And the way we do it with the handwriting looking super easy on the eyes, we have 10 different fonts and the notes are really long. The notes are about 700 characters. And we give you all the note templates from all the hundreds of top producers who are using us. And so there's nothing you need to think about. You can edit the note templates if you want. You can, let me just show you for a sec what's creating these notes. I think Brent alluded to it. And thanks so much, Brent, for letting me have this opportunity. And I know you guys can get your money back, but you can't get your time back. So I really, really appreciate you guys investing this time. And I hope that this becomes a diabolical shortcut for you guys and a strategy like so many other producers. So here we go. These are our handwriting robots. They hold pens and they write exactly like human beings.
Oh, that is cool.
Wow. I need one of those.
Oh my gosh, that's so neat.
Can they fill out contracts as well?
That's how I did sportsmemorabilia.com, with just everyone's signature. Just kidding. So that's the robot. They actually, so they write in 10 different fonts and they make intentional defects. No one A is the same. No one B is the same. They leave that telltale imprint of a pen pressed down on paper. The left and right margins are varied. The line spacing, character spacing, everything is varied. We even replace synonyms. And so 2 neighbors, if you're farming an area and we're sending notes to that area, 2 neighbors can literally hold up the notes side by side and they look different. And then what we do, we layer on all these things to the platform. So what we do is we do the graphic like I talked about. And like Brent said, it's the type of card all of a sudden that, you know, that's artsy that you would buy in an art store. We take an image from your farm. So, you know, I think Brent held this one up. This is the pier outside of Encinitas. And we run it through our software and it creates this watercolor effect. And then we put your name down here and then we put the logo on the lower right. And the net effect is people keep and display the notes. And that's why we make them bifold like this. So that's one of the little secrets, is because the note is long, because it's clearly written, and because it has this graphic and is on a thick stock card, and the envelope is handwritten like you guys saw with a postage stamp, and we put the postage stamp just slightly off kilter, and we put the little QR code sticker just off kilter too. And so we include a QR code sticker, so people, because of QR code menus, they just like reflexively scan QR codes. They just pull out their phone and they scan it. And the cool thing is this will take them to your profile page on EXP, but they don't even need to reach out to you, because the moment they scan it, you get a real-time email alert and an alert inside of our app that says that Joanna Smith on 123 Ocean Drive in Huntington Beach, California, just scanned your note. And so they don't even need to reach out or anything. So that's super cool. And what we do all the farming for you in advance. And so there's nothing you need to do there. And we have a combination of databases. We use Block Shopper and Trulia and Zillow and Property Shark and Property Radar and StreetEasy and Likely.ai and Remine and all these databases. We combine them and we have 200 plus filters. So you could say that you just want this golf club, you just want properties 1.5 million and above, and you just want owners who are age 55 plus with at least 30% equity in their homes, with a COO was issued at least 8 years ago, and bam, we precision target the leads. Everything is first come, first serve. So for example, Miami, we have, my gosh, we probably have 75 top producers in Miami. We probably have a dozen in line for any good inventory. So once it fills up, it fills up. New York is getting full. But the reason why Brent wanted to expose you to this opportunity is a lot of the areas where you farm, you guys are going to have first crack at the farm. So he wanted to give you guys the inside track on it. And here's, let me just layer on a couple more things. So we also get behind properties owned by LLCs and corporations. So, you know, in any given area where the properties are $1 million plus, what, 25% are owned by LLCs and corps? We find the names of the secondary owners and the primary owners. And so instead of the piece of mail going to Gove LLC or whatever, it'll actually be addressed to Brent Gove. And then it'll get through, it'll get opened, and those are rarely farmed leads. We also weed out current active agents in your farm so they don't receive your notes, which is pretty cool. Okay, let me keep going. So then what we do is we deliver this spreadsheet to you. So you come for the handwritten notes, but you get this digital marketing handshake here. So you have now all the email addresses of all the primary and secondary owners in your farm. And this is gold right here. So imagine you're sending out the notes, and then you take these emails here in column B and you simply import them into your newsletter marketing campaigns. And so now your entire farm, and you guys know, like, marketing is just about consistency and familiarity and trust, right? And so what you're doing here is you're just exposing them to your information and positioning yourself as the advisor and the authority. And you're doing it in a number of different ways. And so you take these emails, import them into your newsletters, then check this out. Let's say you want to email Orlando Alvaredo here. This might be too small for you guys to see, but I'm clicking on Alvaredo and I'm clicking on this thing that says send email. I just clicked that. And what it did is it opened up on my computer a fully filled out email ready to send. Here's the person's email with a subject line, did you receive my handwritten note? Hi, Orlando, greetings. I just wanted to make sure you got the handwritten note I sent to this address. Boom, there's the person's address. Please confirm, thanks. So now you're in touch by email, and that email has an extraordinarily high open and read and click through and response rate because it's so harmless. It's so innocuous. It's like all you're doing is confirming that they received the handwritten note. So what you're doing now is you're using, what I discovered as we've been working with all these top producers, is the note is super effective on its own for rising above the noise, but it's also great as a Trojan horse, because what you're doing is you're sending the note, and now you're using channels like email. You could door knock at that point. You could send text, you could call, and those forms of marketing aren't cold anymore. Otherwise, they'd be ice cold. But instead, what you're doing is, hey, I just wanted to see if you got my handwritten note, and guaranteed they've seen it, they've opened it, they responded to it. Chances are they have it sitting right there on their mantle, they have it on their kitchen counter. And because we do a different graphic for each note, what we do is we Typically pick a farm of around 1,000 households, somewhere between 500 and 1,500 households, depending on the size of your farm, depending on whether you have an assistant, a transaction coordinator. And then we drop a note into each household once every 10 weeks. You don't need to send any more than that. That's what we've discovered. So every 10 weeks or 5 times a year, each household in your farm is going to get a new note, and with a new graphic, with a totally new, different text template. And we show you all the text templates that are crushing it. Like here's one that's absolutely crushing it here. And we break them all down. We show you exactly how to do it. We have an onboarding call that's about a half hour to get your campaign up and running. And then let me just show you this.
Jesse,
Yeah, question, go for it.
Doing that. You can hire someone from Sac State, American River College, Sierra College, who's a marketing major. They're going to want it on their resume, pay them minimum wage. And they're like, I look at all this computer stuff and I'm like, I'm out. But they're not out. They get it and they will do it for you. 2-3 hours of their time is $36, right? Or whatever. And so it's a great way to do that. Also on that email, like Drew hurt his ankle here. And so I can add in right there, hey, Drew, how's your ankle doing, right? And if you know some of the people on the farm, you know their golden retriever, Tommy Boy, had surgery. How did Tommy Boy's surgery go last summer? How was that trip to Paris you did? I know you were going last spring. How was that trip to Paris? Now it's super customized, correct? You can do that, Jesse?
Absolutely, right. You absolutely can.
Right.
And then let me show you something else you can do with our platform.
Okay, and we've only got 2 minutes left, just so you know.
I got
And
it.
then the last question I want you to answer before you do this is, how do they start? Could they start with 100? Should they start with 500? What's the best way to start? I mean, I realize starting with 5,000 would be amazing, but it's expensive. You can start, like, where's a good starting point? Go ahead and do your thing and tell me.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Brent. So here, and everyone can see this, we also give you an app so you can send one-off notes anytime you want. So in a couple clicks, let's say you just sold a home to Anthony Robles. Okay, so I'm gonna click on Anthony Robles. We're gonna go next. We have all your templates here uploaded, so you can do a template, and then if, you know, like Brent said, if you want to customize it, you can customize it to your heart's content, do whatever you want. Then you can take a photo. Let's say you go to Anthony's place with a bottle of champagne, you take a selfie of the two of you, and then you want to put that as the front of the note. You can do that. So right now I'm just going to actually choose a random photo off my desktop. This can be really dangerous. I have an 18-year-old kid who sends me memes. Okay, it's fine. And then boom, and then you go in here, and then here's the note ready to send. And then the moment you hit submit, this is printed on the front of the note. This is plotted, it's sent out same day. So Anthony, a couple days after you just celebrated with him, gets this note, and guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna put it right on his mantle, he's gonna save it. You can also add a gift. So you can add a Nest candle. You can add a charcuterie board. You can add a succulent gift box, everything. And you also ship in your business cards, by the way. We include the business cards. Last thing, because I know I'm limited on time, I want to respect your time. By the way, you can check out the name of the website. It's audience.co. Audience.co. Everything is first come, first served. And there's literally on the homepage, I'm showing you right now, there's four fields right here. You literally fill out first name, last name, email, phone, click on book a demo. It'll take you to a Calendly thing. Sign up for a Calendly. It'll probably be, my guess is after Thanksgiving, because you guys will be busy next week. But sign up for a demo. We'll get you in. As far as pricing, it's a range. So it ranges from $500 a month to $1,500 a month and more. I just signed up someone this morning that was $4,500 a month. It really just depends on your transaction volume. And most of our clients, after the first mailer, they'll drive a listing that'll pay for 5 years of our notes. That's literally how crazy effective this is. When you combine the notes with the emails, with the LinkedIn, it's like magic. And then all of a sudden you have a digital marketing strategy, by the way. And all of a sudden you're rocking on LinkedIn. And all of a sudden, anything you post on LinkedIn, by the way, and you get way more organic reach on LinkedIn than you do on Facebook or that you do on Twitter or Instagram, as wonderful as those platforms are. But LinkedIn is really Facebook circa 10 years ago in terms of how much organic reach you get. And that's why we get everyone's LinkedIn profiles, because once you're connected with them, the moment you post a piece of content on LinkedIn, it could be an article on the 4 home staging secrets to selling your home for top dollar. Or it could be, I'm making this up, it could be like the 5 questions to ask your real estate agent to see if they're the right person to sell your home. Or it could be a quote card, or it could be an infographic on home values in the area. The moment you post that content, everyone in your farm sees that on their feed. That is not the case on Facebook, not the case on Instagram. You don't get that much organic reach. And so immediately by going with us, you got the notes, you got the emails, and you got the LinkedIn. And it's, what can I say? It's super, super effective. I think last month, and we have hundreds of top producers now. Last month, maybe we had 1 cancellation. Well, I mean, I admit it's because we send Vinny and Tony to their house to rough them up a bit if they cancel, but that's a joke. So we truly, people love the platform, and they're just generating new listings. It's a great defensive move as well, because it's super hard for other agents to horn in on your farm. Once you're sending notes to everybody, it's like you're gonna be top of mind when those homeowners are interested in selling their home. So thank you guys so much for your time. The way to just sign up for a demo, there's no commitment whatsoever, is just fill out those 4 fields, sign up for a Calendly. You'll get on our calendars, and we'd love to just customize the demo and go from there.
Awesome, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you. Give Jesse a hand. Very good.
What was
Signed
that?
up. You got the first person right here, Drew, if you're looking over here.
Awesome. Thanks.
Anyway,
Drew.
so yeah, and the rest of you sign up. There you go. Boom. Thank you, Jesse. Have a great day, man.
You guys too. See you, everyone.
Okay, we'll put that. Bye, buddy. We'll put that information on the team page. We'll put it in the chat. By the way, every time I do one of these, we load it up to YouTube, right?
Yep.
So if you miss one of these, you can watch it tonight, later today. I think it's better in person. How many of you agree?
Yeah.
But a great thing is there's so much, was there good content today? Like I said, I just go for it with unabandoned, kind of recklessness in a good way. Just throw yourself into it. Try these things, and we're signing, do it, sign up. I mean, I tried this, doesn't work. I don't like that. It wasn't what I thought. Like, oh, that worked. And no, boom, that worked. And so that's what makes you who you are. Any questions for anyone at this point on any of the staging, the the healthcare, or Jesse's program? Anybody have final questions today as we wrap it up? Yep.
2 things. One comment is, for anything, we try out things all the time. Definitely make sure you give it 3 months, right? 90 days, right? See it out, make sure it actually works. Okay. Be slow to hire, quick to fire, right? And then Jesse, I had a question for you. Can you, with the program, can you break in, can you get the information on trusts? Homes that are put into trusts? You still there enough?
He might have signed off. Yeah. Sorry. I think he can't. They go through and get all that
That's the
stuff.
only one that is like the hardest to get to. Is the point of a trust
Yeah.
is to hide that information.
All right. Yes, Alicia. Yes. Our mortgage broker in the room, the superstar mortgage broker. Yes.
30 seconds. I handed out, if anyone didn't get like the example profit and loss tax time is coming, guys, and I don't want you to be like some of the agents I deal with to go, I want to buy a house, but I haven't filed in 2 years. In the Brent Gove site, I uploaded an Excel workbook, and it has all 12 months. And all you do is take inventory of real estate dollars in, real estate expenses out. Very, very simple, fill in the blank. You'll have your whole P&L done. It might take you a couple of hours literally to do the full year. If you have any questions, call me anytime. I didn't want to take up too much time here, so just reach out to me directly.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Give her a hand. For those of you online, we will get a shot of that up on the Brent Gove team website. Jen Finley, you have the stage.
Hello, everybody. Jen Finley with North American Home Services. Today has been a great meeting, and I just want to talk about pre-listing inspection. So get on, don't wait till the 11th hour, and get ahead of the game and do them ahead of time. Right when you do your listing agreement, talk about the listing, the inspections, and go from there. That way it doesn't come out in the middle of the transaction and you're stressing out then. So
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. North American there. Rodney, any advice for what are you seeing out there for the agents crushing it? What are they doing? Any advice for people on the lending side? Another superstar lender in the room, Rodney Rose.
Thanks, Brent. Yeah, I would just say they're taking advantage of the market with the rates and a lot of new programs coming out all the time, especially on the non-QM side, especially for self-employed. You know, it's always a challenge. Business owners write off a lot of stuff. There's a ton of programs and they're great price, starting at about 3.25 for a 30-year fixed. For a like a stated program, bank statement program, you know, rental, if you own a lot of rentals, you know, writing them off, you can just use the rent to qualify. They start at that rate, but then there's going to be a few ads based on FICO score, LTV, and the cash out or whatever they're going to do, but they're still great, easy to get loans. So you got an investor who's going to be selling some properties to buy more properties or cash out, take advantage of those programs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
And I would encourage you to set up a coffee with Rodney or Alicia and take your knowledge of loans to the next level. Another, you know, the more knowledgeable you are, the better you'll do. And just so, it's so cool. So as we wrap up this up today, there's no team meet next Thursday. I believe it's Thanksgiving.
Yay.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Time I've been typing it away. It says Thanksgiving. I'm just I correct it like hell that I'm going with it. You know, happy Thanksgiving. So, so enjoy your families. Please take time off. I really hope that you don't work Thursday or Friday. Please be present with your families. I'm going to watch football. Come by my house in 12 Bridges. We'll watch football. We're just going to do nothing, hang out, and be there with your family. You know, it's so cool. Hopefully my new jacuzzi will be up and running by Thanksgiving Day. And then Friday, go do Black Friday. Have some fun. I really don't buy anything, but I get coffee and watch people trample each other. I get up at 5:30 just to watch the races. It's so cool. Like, wow. And, my kids buy stuff. It's a great time to connect with your kids. Take your teenage son or daughter to Black Friday and whatever, you know, go do that. If you gotta do a little work Saturday to Sunday, you can sneak it in. But I really encourage you, if you can, take 4 days off and just be with your family. You don't, if you can. I mean, if you have bills that you're worried about groceries and gas, work your spot off. Work Saturday and Sunday. I still think you should take it Thursday off for sure, and if not Friday. But I want to say that next team meeting is 2 weeks from today. I will be hosting from Puerto Rico along with John. John hosts, like everyone give John Jennings a hand. Guys, one of my dearest friends. I love John, and he does a great job running the team meetings while I'm here. He's live in person. Of course, Drew, amazing help for what I do. My dad, for those of you who don't know my dad, that's my dad in the back, Jim Gove. You know my pops if you don't know him. And then, so we'll be back here next 2 weeks. I'll be on from Puerto Rico, and I will be in Puerto Rico the month of December. I'm taking I'm going to spend Christmas there. The weather's killer. And then we had to hire an employee in Puerto Rico for what we do. You have to hire someone. And so we hired Orlando. He and his wife went over and decorated our place for Christmas. They sent me a video. So it's our bill. I'm like, this is so cool. I do nothing and show up. Yes, I'm really good at that. So love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving from our heart to yours. Mwah. And we'll see you today, 1 o'clock. Get over there.
Hi, everyone.
That's